Good morning, homestead family. Oh, the dog just butted his head against my gardening tool. So here in Central Florida, we have had some awesome weather this last week in the 50s and 60s and low 70s this week. Beautiful weather. So we are just loving being outside, and I thought it's been a while since I've taken you in the garden. I thought I'd show you what was going on, and if these crazy dogs don't stop, they're going inside. So my daughter gave me 12 sugar snaps, and so I'm finally going to get them in the ground this morning, and then I'll take you around and let you look at the rest of the garden. So here's one thing I like to do. If you notice, I have one on the other side of the trellis and one there. So right in between, that's where I've put my hole, and I like alternating. So they just have plenty of room to grow and plenty of root room in the soil. These look really healthy, and I always love being able to get plants from someone that I know that's grown them, so I know what kind of soil, what kind of things they put on them, so they're not fertilized or have chemicals. Okay, so those are planted, and we're excited about having another bed filled up with some goodness. So let me show you what we got going on here. Kohlrabi's coming along really nicely, just not very many of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. But this is the first year I've ever grown them. I'm not quite sure if we're even gonna like them, so I'm okay with just having a few. This is broccoli. It's our second bed of broccoli, so our second wave of broccoli. So we've got some that are much further along, so when we get through with those, we'll have another planting coming along. Here's some cauliflower, and it's really coming along well. Is also, look at the turnips. Look at those turnips. We're excited about those. And then behind that is a row of rutabagas, and I'm sure those will have to be thinned out. They're quite close together, but I'm going to get them a little bit further along before I decide which ones to keep and which ones. And there's our famous collards. So we've had quite a few people asking about buying collards from us, and I'm actually thinking about doing that because we like collards, but if we eat all these, we'll be eating collards for a while, so we'll see. And then here's the garlic about to come up. Here's our cauliflower here. And then in this bed, we just picked some lettuce yesterday. We've got the celery's coming along nicely. It was a little touch and go there for a while, but it seems to finally have taken root and really doing nicely. There's not very many brown leaves to it now. And this bronze lettuce romaine is also doing well. I've never had this before, but it looks interesting. Yeah, and then there's that lettuce tree right there. We actually cut some off of it yesterday and had some lettuce on our hamburgers, but these are coming along great as well. Then our sweet potatoes. We're probably about 3 weeks out on harvesting sweet potatoes, so we're excited about that. Oh, look! Look! That is us a caterpillar. I'm excited about that, and you leave it alone. Caterpillars in the garden. This is our first year. This is like the, we saw another patch of caterpillars on our dill weed a couple of weeks ago and let them eat the dill. And now we got more, so I'm excited. So here's pineapples. They're doing well. If it gets much cooler, those will have to come in, but for now I think we're doing okay on them. And over here is our cabbage, and it's getting quite large. Cabbage all the way down in this bed. So we have different, like these were planted first. These on the end are coming along after that, and then there's another patch right there. Looks like they're going to be okay. That was our third time planting in that area, and they're slow growers, but I think they'll be okay. Then over here we have Brussels sprouts on this side, and then on the other side we have broccoli over there. So one thing that we're really excited about is the butternut squash. Look how well it's coming along. So it's finally getting up high enough to get some bark underneath it, and so it can keep some moisture in here. These three right here are a little bit slower, and we'll wait a little bit longer to get those just a little bit higher. Then I'll be filling this bed with wood chips. And over here, if you can see, in between the weeds, we've got carrots coming along, and they're really sparse, and I'm not sure if the dollar weed is interfering with that or what the deal is, but we'll have a few carrots. And of course we've got our herbs over here. And look at the surprise loofah gourds. Like, I didn't plant these. I had loofah gourds here before, pulled them all up, and you know, they just kind of populated themselves and grew a couple more vines, and so we've got a couple more loofah gourds, which is kind of cool. I love those kind of surprises. So I had a couple of Concord grapes this morning And there's actually, not sure if that one's ripe enough, but I had about 5 or 6 of them and they were delicious. So we're hoping next year that this will just be full of grapes. But they're coming along. It's coming along great. So they've been kind of sparse this year, but this is our first year of them actually growing and producing. So we're excited about what is to come from these. The avocado trees that we planted here and over here seem to be doing really nicely. We have a lot of wind on our property, so sometimes it's hard on plants, and I think the banana trees have kind of suffered because of the wind, but I'm not quite sure. I'm actually considering putting some kind of wall back up here behind these banana trees just to kind of cut the wind a little bit for them to see if that helps. And then there's our strawberry guava plant right there. It put off some great fruit last year, so we're excited about what we're going to get from that. And then here's one little last chicken surprise. So the chickens are very, you know, there's a pecking order to having chickens. And sometimes they don't let everybody in the coop. Let me show you. So let me show you the coop. So this is our coop inside. And we've got quite a bit of room in here. But sometimes the newest batch of chickens that came along, they just will not let them in the coop. And I've seen them at night. Huddled up in a corner, and I'm like, oh, poor things, they won't let them go in. I've even seen them, you know, like try to get in and get kicked out. And I think there's plenty of room for them. It's just that pecking order. So when we planted our grapes the other day, one of them was on a trellis in the bucket, and I saw the trellis leaning against the chicken coop on the outside this morning, and I thought, I'm gonna give this a try. But we're gonna try out that trellis and see how that works for them. We'll see. So don't worry, for those of you that are concerned about the stability of it, I'm gonna come back later and I'm going to put some clamps on there to attach it to the wall so it won't fall over if they do try to get up on it. But you know, homestead life, farm life, that's what you do. You take and repurpose things. Recycling, when the government came out with this whole recycling program, that was nothing new to the farmers and the homesteaders because they've been recycling for hundreds of years. So that's what's going on today in our neck of the woods. And just thought I'd bring you along and let you see the progress of the garden. Dog keeps trying to jump on me. Y'all have a great day, and don't forget, do your best and watch God do the rest. Bye-bye.